Hello and welcome back to Joey is Me. I'm Joey. This is my new channel. I've only made one video on here so far, so this is gonna be my second one. Don't really know what I'm doing. But this video is my top 5 attractions, exclusive, unique to Disneyland Paris. I think I'm gonna talk about Disneyland Paris quite a lot on my channel because that's the Disney park that I go to a lot. And also, you know, there are endless YouTubers that talk about Disney World and Disneyland California, and not a whole lot of YouTubers that talk about Disneyland Paris. So, you know, I thought I'd do a couple top 10s about Disneyland Paris. And I thought a great way to start would be attractions unique to Disneyland Paris. Now, Disneyland Paris is the Disney company's least successful Disney park. It still makes lots of money every year, but it's got such a massive pile of debt from a kind of lackluster first couple of years and ridiculously inflated original cost to build the park. This does mean that it doesn't have a whole lot of original attractions. I think mostly because it's cheaper for them to just take ideas from other parks and shove them into Disneyland. But it does have a couple. And today we are going to be talking about my favorites. Before we get into it, I just want to say a couple honorable mentions. Number 1 honorable mention is Cinemagic. It's an honorable mention because it closed earlier this year. So, you know, I still wanted to put it in there because it was such a great show, taking you through loads of different movies, classic movies, modern movies, animated films. It was really great. Another honorable mention for me is Big Thunder Mountain at Disneyland Paris because it is the only one that is on an island. And at the beginning of the ride, you get in the train and it goes in a tunnel under the water and comes back up on the island. And then the rest of the ride, the rest of Big Thunder Mountain happens on an island, which I think is really cool. Obviously, it's not an original attraction, but that's a really unique aspect to it. So I wanted to give it an honorable mention. Number 5 on my list is the Armageddon special effects show thing. Basically, this is an attraction, it's a walkthrough. There's a little pre-show where you get taught about special effects and then you walk in and you watch some of the special effects in action. They kind of blast fire, the room moves, and then you leave. It's kind of cool, the bit with the fire is pretty exciting, but other than that I always find it a bit underwhelming, and Armageddon is a kind of out-of-date movie. Number 4 on my list is Indiana Jones's Temple of Peril. This is a thrill ride where you kind of go round a temple. I always find it a bit underwhelming because it's not very well themed, and I kind of think it could be at any theme park. It doesn't have to be a Disney park. Disneyland attractions always are so well themed, and I just don't think it's quite up there. Maybe if it had like animatronics somewhere on it, then it might be a little bit more on par with the other Disney attractions, but for me, it's a bit lackluster. That's why it's number 4. Anyway, on to number 3. Number 3 is Alice's Curious Labyrinth. Now I know at Shanghai Disneyland, they just opened Alice in Wonderland's Maze, which is a very similar attraction. It's a maze themed around Alice in Wonderland, but the crucial difference is that Disneyland Paris's version is themed around the cartoon film, whereas Shanghai's version is themed around the live-action film. The Disneyland Paris one was unique to Paris for such a long time that I think it earned its place on this list. It's really cool. There's a big hedge version of the Cheshire Cat with rolling eyes. There's loads of really cool stuff in there, and that's why it is number 3 on my list. Okay, now on to number 2. Number 2, it is the Ratatouille ride. Now, the Ratatouille ride was an exclusive ride to Disneyland, which opened a couple years ago, like 2 or 3 years ago, and it is a trackless ride. I went on it for the first time last year. It is awesome. The mice like move around and they like weave in and out of each other. This kind of technology has only been used a couple times, and you wear 3D glasses and you come up towards these big screens, and it kind of goes back and forth between being a dark ride and being a simulator ride, and it is really brilliant, like honestly fantastic. The reason why it's gonna seem very out of date being on this list very soon is because they are opening a second version in Walt Disney World in Florida, in Epcot's World Showcase. So that ride opens in I think about a year or 2 years time, and when it does, then it won't be unique to Disneyland Paris anymore, which will be a shame. But it is such a fantastic ride, they had to open it somewhere else. Okay, and number 1 on this list, remember this is my list, so your list might be a little bit different, but number 1 for me is Crush's Coaster, which is an absolutely awesome ride. It's in the Studio Park again. This one is themed around Crush, the turtle, in Finding Nemo, and it involves loads of the Finding Nemo characters. It kind of starts off as a dark ride. This is what I love about it. It kind of starts off as a dark ride, and you're kind of seeing little videos of all the different characters, and you're going through a reef, and you see all the jellyfish and stuff, and then it goes into, halfway through the ride, into a big roller coaster, and you're in a spinning shell, and it's spinning around, and it's just a fantastic ride. There are so many different elements to it. So there you have it, Disney fans. That is my top 5 attractions unique to Disneyland Paris. Let me know in the comments if I missed any of your favorite rides. Let me know what your favorite rides are at Disneyland. Let me know if you've been to Disneyland Paris. I can't wait to hear from you guys. Thanks so much for watching my 2nd ever video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Trying to build up some subscribers, trying to build up some likes, you know, get me started. That would be much appreciated, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, I will be back on here really soon. Bye!